Welcome to Art and Soul Insider. I'm Barbara Lynn Burns, and I'm here to help you find your joy, your creativity, and calm through art and wellness. Whether it's exploring new supplies, guided meditations, or inspiring art projects, this is your space to recharge and create. So let's make more art and less stress together. Here we go. Well, hello there. Welcome to another time to create, to have time for yourself, to lock yourself away from the world and just create and just to be. So I hope that you will find this upcoming time just a time to relax, a time to play, and that's what we're going to do. We are going to create a bunch of little mini pieces. And the reason why we're going to create little mini pieces, and I mean mini, because I went scrounging through my supplies, and I've got a lot, and I found these cards and envelopes. And I thought, let's create something for that. So that's what we're going to do today. And I'll explain when we're in there what exactly we're going to do. And I mean, you can create them too. So please join me. We're going to have a wonderful time. You're going to learn lots, and we're going to play. So here it comes. Okay, here we go. This is the inspiration for today. Now, if you do not have like a card and envelope set, don't worry. I sometimes have used my thank you cards and have actually pasted on top of the word thank you a picture. You can go to stationery shops and they will have these things. But if you don't have and you don't want to spend any more money, I understand. You could just fold cardstock or any other type of more stiff paper and just place your card on top of that, or, well, your artwork, I mean. So, and that'll work perfectly. But this is what I found in mine. Here is a kind of a traditional set. Oh, cat hair, look at that. I really like these because I've used them for photographs in the past. They have an embossed edge, and what I've done is I usually create the work a little bit smaller, so then it fits nicely in there. And again, depending on the orientation I want it, it can go either way, and you know, that's where I'll sign the work. If it's this way, I'll sign it here. If it's this way, I'll sign it here. And there you go. Works really well. This is a very cute set. I fell in love as soon as I saw it. It comes in cream color as well as white. So the white is this. Look at that. Isn't that so cute? A wonderful little opening. I'm looking at my measurements. This is 2 inches by 2 inches, or that would be 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters. And then you can just glue it or tape it on the back here. And again, the card could go either way, right? And again, here is the cream colored. Very similar. I mean, exactly the same, but it's in cream. This is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. I was looking away trying to get my sizes. So that's the sizes of these. Here we go. Supplies. I'm using watercolor paper. You can use whatever kind of watercolor paper. You can use multimedia paper. The choice is yours. I'm just going to go around all my supplies here. I've got my brushes, naturally. This is a 6 or a 9. I don't know. I got it 40 years ago. I am dating myself. This is a university watercolor brush that I got. Love this brush. It's a little wobbly in here, but that can be re-glued. The brush is wonderful. It's actually gold sable. This is Gumbrackers number 8. This is the Academy, Academy Multimedia Round. So really nice point. I've got tape. Now I've got the narrow tape because I'm trying to use the most space in my watercolor paper. So I've got this. I believe that is 1/4 of an inch. Now, if you only have this size, use that size. Or you can cut it, right? Yeah, use whatever you have. I don't want you not having the supplies to stop you. If you just have acrylics, well, play along with me with your acrylics. I've got some sponges, okay? This is I bought this probably university years ago too. I use these specifically for watercolors. And again, this is kind of an old household sponge. I use acrylics, watercolors in the bit. I've got some cards, okay, that I'm going to, spread the paint, make marks with it. I have salt. The fine grain salt, and I've got the coarse stuff. You use whatever you have. I have this. This was, it was so old. This is wax. This is paraffin. Now, you can use a white candle. If you have kids, steal one of their Crayola white crayons. That will work perfect. So candles, again, paraffin, whatever, works really well. This will resist the paint. It's really cool. I am using, with my watercolors, I'm going to use an acrylic, and it's an acrylic white. I've got my watercolor pencils here. We're going to be using them. It's going to be the first step. I'm going to be using my watercolor pencil crayons. Now, if you have woody Stabilos, those work fine. China markers. I'm using this to actually create marks on my paper. You can use whatever you want. If you have pencils, use that. Here, I've got my water to get my good old watercolors going. They've sat in the pan a long time. They're not liquid form anymore, so I spray this to get them activated. I've got a big brush. This is kind of nice for splattering or stippling. Again, this could be splattering or, fine dots. I've got the palette that I'm going to be using with the paint. I looked and looked for a sheet of sandpaper, couldn't find it. We have this block, so hopefully my honey, he won't, I'll try and clean it as best I can after I'm done with it. And then I've got my water, and I've got my blow dryer. I've got paper towel, as well as my handy towel. This really, look at this, all this acrylic on this other side. But yeah, I'm going to be using both of those probably. And I've also, as I mentioned, with my watercolors, I'm going to use my traditional kind of more professional set. So I just have the blues, warms and cools. I've got a variation of browns, okay? So, burnt sienna, etc. I've got some reds, and I have my yellows. Now, I also have, my tubes. The reason why I have my tubes is because I'm wanting to use this paint straight out of the tube. I'm wanting it to be really thick in paint. Now, this won't work because you see, this is dry, right? So you can see the water that I've placed in it. It's already evaporating so fast here in Alberta, I tell you. There you go. That's what I'm going to be using. Trying to switch things here. Okay, so now I've got some of my paints that I'm wanting to use straight out of the tubes. Some I will, some I won't. Some I just have them as a reminder if those are the colors I'm needing. I'm using the Bahong Artist watercolor paper It's cold press. That's what the CP stands for. It has 20 sheets. It's 100% cotton, which is awesome. It's 300 grams per meter squared. I believe that's 140 pounds. Okay. And what I like about this paper is you can use it for watercolor. You can use it for pen drawings, though I like the hot press better if I'm going to do pen drawings. You can sketch on it. You can use gouache. I've used acrylics on it. Scrub resistant, so it can withstand kind of a little bit of working into it. And again, it's a natural white, and it's lovely. Here is my paper. I have divided into sections. So remember I told you the sections of these cards, right? So that's going to fit in these guys, right? I just have these. I don't know what is going to look better, the white or the cream. So that's why I have kind of both of them here. And then these for that. And then this, maybe a little mini bookmark. Might as well use it all, right? What I'm going to do first is I don't need to tape the edges. I've actually measured these that I'm going to be cutting some. The dimensions I figured out, but I know I'm going to be doing some fiddling with these. So these aren't perfect. These are actually like technically 2.5 by 2.5. Well, the squares are 2 by 2, right? What I'm going to do now is take my black pencil crayon. No, sorry, black watercolor pencil crayon. Can't confuse the two because they work completely different. So what I'm going to do is take this pencil and put marks on the paper. We are so afraid of starting. It's that blank piece of paper. The blank paper affects writers and poets. It affects artists as well. The blank canvas, right? I take something like this, or pencils, or I've even done pencil crayons, and I have put marks on my paper. So I'm wanting really loose, but I can make some really dark lines coming in. Just putting marks on the paper. There. Oh, I'm going to do something a little here. Cut that there. Yeah. Now, the next step, what I'm going to do is take my spritz bottle, and I am going to activate that pencil crayon with the water. You see how it's really starting to, on its own. I'm not doing anything except applying that water, and look at it go, right? Pretty cool. I just love stuff like this. I just get excited. That's going to be with that. Then I'm going to take, you know me, I love my blues and my greens. I'm going to go here, and I've got a little bit of green. I know I'm going to be adding some yellow. So the yellow with the blue will make a green. Oh, I'm using this old, really old tube, and it is hard. Holy, that took some muscles to get out, I tell you. I'm going to use this one. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing. I'm going to take some ultramarine. Remember, I activated this I'm just going to push this over. You can kind of see what I'm doing. I activated with the water. No, I'm going to just dilute it a bit more. And I am going to kind of splatter. And remember, this is wet. So what's going to happen is it's going to move the splatters. Again, filling up that paper with some marks. Then I'm going to, that's what I want the wet stuff for. I'm going to take some, cerulean blue. I don't want the cerulean blue yet, but I opened it up. I'm going to then take, I've got French Ultramarine. Oh, I wanted a different blue too. Oops. Okay, well, we'll use this one. I wanted my Winsor blue, I thought. I have an intense blue. I'll use that maybe. It's phthalo blue. So I'm just going to use that there. So now what I'm going to do is take this card and I am going to smear some color on. What I should have reminded you before we started is make sure that your tape is down nice and good, right? We don't want the tape coming up. If the tape happens to come up, that just means we're going to have to remeasure things. No worries, right? Okay. Oh, there we go. There. Okay. Let's see my green, if I can do some smearing with that. Oh, it's so thick. I wanted to use some old paint up, you know. But there we go. Oh, it's thick. Yeah. Old stuff. You know, I was like, oh, should I use it? And I thought, you know, I just want to use it up, right? Because, you know, if you don't use stuff up, it goes on you. You know, some of it, like as you can see, well, it's really, really hard, right? Yeah. So, I learned. And so often we hold on to our supplies wanting it to be perfect and waiting for that perfect time to use it. Well, there's no perfect time, right? Yeah. I'm going to take some yellow now. Clean my brush, put it in the clear water. I'm going to use my cadmium yellow. Yes. You know what? I'm going to use my Winsor yellow. Okay. Winsor yellow. Just kind of placing it here and there. It's turning kind of green because it's wet, right? Right? So I'm trying to put it in areas where it's just going to pop some, right? Let's go in here. There. I'm bringing some green into my yellow, unfortunately. But I can clean that up later. I'm not concerned, right? A lot of times what happens is if we stop and clean things in the middle of our work, it actually takes away from our flow, right? We want to just kind of keep that flow going. Keep us creating like we want to create and not have anything kind of distract us from it. And believe me, when I see things kind of messy and stuff like that, boy, I want to clean it up right away. But I know I got to keep with the flow. I'm going to now take this and I'm going to take my water and let some of this kind of flow together. You know, mix it out. There we go. There. There. I'm going to take my towel. Really wet here for some reason. There we go. Oh, I got a good smear. There we go. It's just flowing. That's really thick, that area right here. It's really thick paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to lift some of that and go into some areas. I'm going to water it down a bit, go onto my palette, just using that up, right? I'm going to bring it into that yellow, kind of along this line there. There we go. Just messing with it, just playing, right? Now what I want to do is, this is what the sandpaper is for. I'm going to take a little bit of this red of my pencil. This is the Crimson Lake, it's called. And I'm going to take the sandpaper and get some of that red in there. There we go. Okay, I'm going to need to sharpen it soon. So what it's doing, because this is watercolor, this pencil, it is leaving watercolor powder down there. What's going to happen, because it's wet, it's going to bleed into it. You see? Isn't that neat? Yeah. I'm just going to bring that in here. In that blue. So it just, because that was a big blue blob, right? I want it to be a little bit more a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of red here too. Don't want to use too much, especially where it's green, right? Because what's going to happen with the green area, oops, sorry about that. With the green area, it's going to turn brown. Because remember our color theory, those colors that go opposite of each other on the color wheel, they are going to go brown. So you've got your red and your green, Christmas, that creates a brown, yellow and a purple, sometimes creates a browny gray, and then that's Easter, yellow and purple, and then orange and blue. Think of the Edmonton Oilers. They're NHL hockey team. Now with that, I'm going to brush on some shapes that I see in here. So I'm going to take, I've got some yellow, so let's use that yellow. And, oh, here's a shape kind of right there. Clean my brush, right, before I put it back into the yellow. I'm going to bring in this shape, this color a little bit more. There we go. I'm bringing it up like that. There. In there. That shape. I want to bring some of that color out. So I'm going to take this burnt sienna. Okay. And I'm going to saturate this area with it. Let's do like that. I'm going to kind of painting that area in, right, with the burnt sienna. So I'm getting, because the burnt sienna kind of has a reddy tinge to it. So it works well with the red, you see? It works really well with the red. Let's bring some of that into here. Didn't work that well. It's a little bit mixture. This is a little too wet. So I'm just going to kind of place it in like that. Okay, because it's ready and it's going over green. Naturally, it's going to be brown, but it's a brown color anyways, right? I'm just going to sop up that on the side here, like that. Let's do some color on the edge here. Boy, I didn't leave any white areas, did I? That's very interesting. Usually, I like to leave some white areas or lighter areas with the watercolor, but I guess I was just having too much fun with the watercolors. Just going to town, huh? Yeah. Let's just bring some values into there. I'm going to color that shape in. I'm going to do it in here too. There. Let's bring that like that. So what I'm wanting to do, I'm wanting to splatter a bit. So I'm trying to get my yellow here. Nope, not working. It's not liquidy enough. There we go. Get some more like that. Soak it up on my thing. There we go. I like that drop that happened there. That's interesting. Get some more of that liquid. Okay, now let's splatter. I wanted a little deepness into it. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe this might be too dark. Oops, I lost my brush. Oh, that was a big green guy there. I didn't even see that before. Let's paint that in. A little green in there just to change the tone so it's not all yellow, right? There we go. Now, this might be too dark. So it's a gray. Yeah, it might be too dark. It's almost like a black. It's called charcoal gray. So I didn't want it that dark. Let's maybe try and add something there. Won't hurt. Right? We don't know until we try, right? I want that lighter, so I'm just going to go over with a wet brush. There we go. Do that the same with this one. Just doing some line work. Getting some, just something a little different, huh? Doesn't hurt. Let's water this down. Just playing, just seeing where it's going, what's happening. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to bring some salt in while it's still wet. I'm going to, in the salty areas, you're just going to go like this. And I'm going to take some of the bigger stuff too. I don't know if it's going to work. These are really big. These are supposed to be for your, what is it? Your grinder. Yeah. It might be too much. So we will find out. Yeah, this is starting to dry on me already. We have to let it sit naturally. And then what I'm wanting to do is I want to use the back of my brush here. I like getting a nice point. Oh, that's a good one. See, it's a nice little point there. The other ones were a little flat. So what I'm going to do is scrape into the watercolor paper. And so what will happen is some of the paint will go in, and some of it, look at that buildup that I've taken off of it, of paper, and yeah. And it's left some marks here. So some of it with the water in the watercolor, it'll seep into it. So it'll make it as a dark mark. See that? Well, here, where it's a little drier, it's actually scraped away. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. This looks a little too green here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush on this shape. Oh, I'm using a different brush, the brush that I scraped with. I'm going to color in that shape there. Just a little bit. I want a little bit big, deeper. Yeah. There we go. And use some dry brushing to get some texture in there. I have Saran Wrap. Well, actually, I have what's called press and seal. Not sure if it's going to work the same way, but I'm going to try. And we're just going to place it down. Okay. Don't know. And it has to be wet. So I'm trying to find my wet areas, which there really aren't a whole lot anymore. So let's just see what we can do here. There we go. Let's just bring some splatter in. I'm going to do burnt sienna here. I want some bigger ones here. Yeah, there we go. This is really hard to control, splatter. You know? It's, but I love the little extra textures it brings onto the painting. Getting some more water in that burnt sienna. This one needs something there. Yeah. I'm going to do something in here. I try to aim here, not guaranteed. That's what I find about splatter. You are never guaranteed that that's where it's going to go. Now, what else do I want? I think we're good. I'm going to bring in, I don't want to bring any more color because I've got enough color. It's a little bit more of a detailing that I'm wanting to bring. I didn't use my sponge yet, did I? Let's get some, I want some paint on here. What kind of paint do I want? I'm thinking, oops, that is not a clean brush. I put it right dab in my yellow. It'll work because that color is making the colors that we already have there. So I'm just going to do right here on top of the blue. No, didn't work. Okay, it absorbed it. I think I need it this paper still has some moisture in it. So it's not going to do anything that I'm wanting it to do with the paint until it's dry. You know, like with the sponging and stuff like that. It needs to be a little drier. I'm going to try here, though. Oh, I got a little bit. Okay. Okay. I'm wanting to dry it before, you know, but then I'm thinking again, I'm going to, let's see, taking this big brush, and I'm going to go like, there we go. It's a little dark in this corner. I'm going to lighten it up with the yellow. Oh, the rock, salt rock there. There. There, I want some lightness in there. There. It's a little splotch of color. So we need some moisture in that. There. Whew. That's beautiful. There's some splotching. I am getting it all over myself, which is very common when you're splattering. It does not go where it is told to go. It goes where it wants to go. This needs a little bit more. See how it's just kind of blah? So adding a little bit of this yellow is going to add a little bit something to it. You see that? Just makes it come more alive. Same with this one. There we go. Oh, I have to have probably another shower after I'm done with this. Yeah. I'm going to add something down here. There we go. It's really hurting my hand when I'm doing this. I'm really hitting it hard. There we go. And let's go right in here. There, I'm liking that. This needs something. It's a little, I mean, I think the Saran Wrap is going to help. Hopefully it works. I don't know if it's going to work. There we go. Something's needed there, isn't it? There. Nice lines. Oh, love the lines here. Doesn't always work for me, though, but it's coming. There's a real mishmash of colors that, I mean, you want to get values. You want to get lights and darks, right? You just don't want all one value. And, you know, these are mostly one value. So I'm going to bring in some darker values. So I'm going to use that dark charcoal one that I had. And let's add that here. I'm going to add it more in the corner here and have it more diffuse out because I've wet the paper there. There, you see how that's just changed that a little bit? I'm just going to play with that a little bit more. I'm going to add some of the dark blue kind of in the corner, peeking out here, kind of coming out. I'm going to take my sponge and I'm just going to lift some of that color up. There we go. So then it's a little variation. You've got some lights and you have some darks. Here, it's not too bad. But again, it's getting kind of too much the same. So I'm going to bring in a dark kind of coming across here. There we go. Okay. I wish I left more white on the paper. Yep. That would have made a big difference. I should try this another time with you and let you see that and how much of a difference that would make. I'm just going to bring some in here in that corner. Nope, lifting some of my rocks of salt up. Colored that shape you see there. So I'm just going to kind of darken it in this corner, I'm going to add like that. Oh, this one, right? We need something there. So I'm going to bring in that dark again. Oh, look at how it's kind of gone on that side. So let's try it on this side too. And let's bring it up, kind of coming up. Just adding some values will make a huge difference. So I can't lighten it. I mean, I could lighten it by wetting and lifting, but I'm wanting to not do that. Well, I'm going to add some darker values as you see what I'm doing. And I'm going to add some white. So there is some lightness coming. The yellow does that really well, which as you can see, it brightens up. But in order for the yellow to be seen, paper needs to be dry. And let's just bring that around, follow that line that I made there. There, we need a little darker. There we go, that's coming. I'm going to bring some blue in here. Blue's there, but I want to intensify it. So I'm going to kind of goes like that. And it goes in a kind of a curve there. So I'm creating some hard lines. See that? So that it's not all blended. See how this is all blended? Nothing's really standing out. But if I go and make some hard lines, things are going to start showing up a bit more. See how that all of a sudden there's that shape now, right? So I'm just going to continue this line, kind of going with that shape, and I'm going to just kind of let it diffuse out. I mean, I've got that dark blue there. Now let's bring maybe, I've got that green. Let's bring that hard green. And I'm going to just bring it in. And I'm going to follow that line, that white line that I scratched out with the back of my brush, okay? I'm just going to make it a little darker, maybe on the bottom here. Oh, I'm covering the tape here anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, and got some green up here. I'm going to bring that green and work that way here. And let's do... yeah, we've got kind of a green here. Not a green, but a shape here with that line. I don't want to do it too much because I want those lines to actually be shown as lines too, because I think that's really cool. But you can use the lines that you created to make a shape and work with that shape. You see how I did right there? I don't think this worked as well. Nope, it didn't. You really truly need Saran Wrap, not press and seal. So let's just, there, soak that up a bit. Now let's just, again, let's bring some darkness in here. We've got a lot of blue there. I'm going to do this shape here. Bring out this shape. And I'm going to bring it in here, a little darker. All right, some darkness. And then it's going to bleed in there. Let's make this kind of, I'm seeing some burnt sienna there. Let's just kind of bring that burnt sienna a little bit more out. Kind of like a little glazing here. Just putting it right on top of there. Not too sure, but what about that? No, I'm not thrilled about it, but there we go. Let's just maybe intensify the color a bit and then have it bleed. Now, this black here, it's left as a line, so I'm going to dry my brush a bit and just bring it into, kind of get rid of that line. Let's do a shape here. So I'm going to bring in that blue. I'm using those lines again. what I'm wanting to do now is, let's use the white. I want some more yellow splatter. That's what I'm wanting, actually. I'm saying, didn't you get enough yellow splatter? No, I didn't. I'm going to probably get it all over here. I'm going to just flick it. There we go. There we go. And flick it again. There, we're getting some light. I'm wanting some over here now. There we go. Oops. Did I get the lens? I hope not. I hope I didn't get it. Oh, here, we're off screen here. I get so excited when I paint sometimes I forget about that I have to, oh right, I'm filming this. Granted, I don't talk to myself when I'm by myself. There, there. Oh yeah. That makes me happy. You see, it adds a little contrast. There's a lot of yellow in there right now. So this is my last one. Done. Okay, not done, but done in that aspect. So I'm going to take the blow dryer now and blow dry. I see this corner. It looks too much the same. Just to make it a little different. I think I used up all my paint. See how that yellow splatter just soaked in? Because it's so dark, it's soaked in. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to clean this brush and I'm going to use yellow. And you're going, what? Well, you saw how it just absorbed, right? I've got some really soft little lines there. But I don't want those lines. I want something a little bit more from that yellow. So let's go. And it's right in here. There we go. I'm gonna do like that. There we go. Again, I'm gonna do it, bring it right in here. Adding more yellow. Lighten that one up a little bit. Lighten that one up because it has some yellow right in there, right? And let's do some yellow right in this area. And let's put some yellow on there. There, I'm liking that a little bit better. I'm gonna add some yellow there because there's yellow coming up there. Okay, now we're at the white. I keep promising the white to you, don't I? Okay, so I'm going to take my palette knife here, and I'm going, this isn't the best one, actually. I need my flat acrylic one. These are old ice cream lids. So I'm just going to take this, scoop my paint out, because I need it flat. Trying to do some lines across. Oh, I didn't want that much. I'm going to scrape that away. See, like that. Yeah, we lost a little bit of the yellow again. You see that? Yep. I might need acrylic paints for it. I'm trying to see where kind of some lines are moving with it, okay, to give it some movement. Remember, this isn't one piece. It's a whole bunch of little pieces, right? So in some ways you have to think like that, but it's hard when it's all kind of together like this, isn't it? Sometimes it's okay to not have things work the way you want to. That's why I'm kind of using this, is because in some ways I don't have a whole lot of control with it. There's some salt still on there, so I'm kind of messing with that, aren't I? Going, what are you doing? You know what? I'm just playing, actually. I'm seeing, where do I like that? Where do I want that to go? Oh, got a little bit of blue in that white. Kind of adding some texture, making it go different directions, see? See, so it's coming up here, but I've scratched it this way. We're just working with it, playing with it, and I need my white again. Oh, there it is. Keep forgetting where I put it. Important thing is to play. Like, look, look at me. I'm a mess. And, I probably, thank goodness, I'm wearing a gray t-shirt instead of a white. I don't think there's anyone who's ever worn white when they're doing art. My goodness, huh? Let's do something here. Yeah. Oops, sorry. Moving. There we go. Spread it out a bit so it's not as, not as strong. And then what do? A big splotch. Let's just keep working at it. Remember, this paper, it said it could take some stuff. So that's what we're doing right here. See, I didn't leave a whole lot of white, so this is kind of different in the fact that, unless the white around it. But I think what I'm wanting to do is to add some splatter of white to it. This is a multimedia one, so I was able to use it with the watercolor. Oh boy, look at all that. And you wonder why my background is all splattered, huh? There we go. Oops, got a big splotch. Gonna soften that with that. There we go. Gonna soften some of these. There we go. Do I want some darker splotches? No. I'm okay. There's still something needing. I just don't know what it is. Boy, my desk is a mess. Oh, I forgot to use the wax, didn't I? I'm wondering. This is my watercolor pencil crayon. Ooh, really wore that down. I was vicious with it. Oh, you know what I forgot to bring is it with my my cerulean blue. Anyways, it's too late because I've been adding all these layers. Let's go with this because this is a lighter blue. Okay, I think I'm liking it better. Needed something, a little extra stuff on there. And I mean, it's all very crazy, very chaotic. So I'm going to go and brush off the salt into the garbage. I'm going to, oh, there's still some salt there. My salt didn't do anything. I'm rubbing some of the watercolor pencil crayon off. Okay. I think I'm done. I don't know. I think I am. Okay, let's do the reveal. So, which ones? I ended with these guys first. I ended with these so they first come off. So we'll see if anything went underneath the tape, because sometimes, as best as you try and press everything down, sometimes the tape goes, ooh, we're gonna lift a little here. Yeah, it's a little bit came off there, but that's okay. What's wonderful about these is that you can flip them around and find out what you like best, right? Let's see, that's over. You see how the white really works with the light? But I was conscious, though, of using this with, you know, with the white cards that I had. So that's what I was thinking of. There you go. Okay, so the next step is to cut. And we'll see you soon. Here we are, everything cut out. Now I've got like 2 dispensers that we can use to glue. This is those roll-on ones, right? I noticed I had 2. You can also use the glue sticks. I find these don't really last that long. Another thing I have is what's called double-sided tape. That works really well. So here's all our pictures. Wow, look at them. Okay, so I grabbed this one. Let's go. Oh, where's my big sheet? There it is. See, I knew I was using a white sheet for this, so I knew it was going to be just so. Now, notice here, because I was using the pad, remember, and it's kind of glued technically all the way around, make sure before you do your cards, you take all that glue off that's on any of the sides. That's one thing to be aware of. Right now, I have it like this, and it's a little bit in on one side, and that's okay. Which way do I want it to show? What I do is I take everything away because I don't want to be influenced by that. So I look at it and I say, okay, which way do I like it? That has a sense of movement with some lines coming out like that. No, I'm not liking that one. No, I'm not liking that one. You'll find that you'll see ones that you like. I like this one. There's a little weight on here, which is interesting because that's the way it first appeared to me. I also like this one, this way. No, I'm going to go this way. That's my intuition says. I mean, I can always change depending, but how I sign it is how it's going to be positioned. What I'm going to do in this state, I'm going to use the double-sided tape. So what I try and do is do like a corner glue as such. Like that. Okay. Got a little hair there. My hands still have paint on them, even though I washed them pretty good. I'm just gonna go right over that. I might as well just do a long length here. There we go. And position inside there. And I also do, well, I'm going to do 3 on the inside. So 1 on one side, 1 in the middle, and 1 on the other side. There. Is it this way? Gee, I forget. Uh-oh. No, it wasn't that way. It was this way. No, it was that way. It was this way. Okay. Oh, how quickly we forget. Okay, line it up as best you can. Inside the thing. Press down. Be careful, especially like I'm trying to be careful because I used the watercolor pencil on top and I didn't add any water, right? So it has the possibility of smudging. There's my card. Which way do I like it? Better? I like it this way. Let's do it this way. I'm going to take a pen. I've got my pens here. My Sakura. You can use a ballpoint pen. That works fine. Let's go. Let's see if a 1 works. Yeah, that's kind of small. So I'm naming it and just falling, like fall came to me. Fall days, I'm going to call it. Fall days, and sign my name. There you go. And then on the back, you know, here you can put your name, your website and that type of stuff if you have one, or your Instagram handle, so that whenever this card is maybe passed around or other people are looking at and admiring it, they know where to go, right? There we go. So there's that one. Oh, got cat hair all over here. Man, those cats, I tell you, love them. So that's ready. How I store them, I actually go that way. So this is actually protected. Unfortunately, when you're looking through your cards, you can't see it. There are other times I go like this. So it depends on what you want, right? And how you want to do it. Here's that little bookmark, cute as a button. I've got all these, okay? I'm just going to pick this one. Okay, there we go. That's one. Which one is this going to look better on? I've got both. White, we always know, works well. Cream works well too. This will look good because it has the yellow in it, see? Though the white is a little bit off. So I'm thinking with this one, I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use the white. You see how much better that works because of the whites coming out? Yeah. So how am I going to glue this one? Well, what I've done in the past is, I'm wondering if we can still do it here. Oh, maybe not. I've sometimes used those corner things, but this won't work that well. I've also used those corner things for in here as well for the painting, right? They are little corner things that you used to do in photo albums that would contain your picture. I like this aspect of doing that, and I have done that with these type of cards because then the person, if they really like the picture, they can easily take it off and hand it to a framer to frame, right? Think about something like that. You never know. People love your work so much they might want to frame it. I'm wondering, I might not have enough, like the glue will stick, but you know what? It might go past here and this will stick against it. I don't actually have the right type of tape to tape, to tape it down. So what I would actually use right now, I wouldn't give it to the person this way, but I would use, that painter's tape that can be easily taken off. So we have to figure out which way we like it though. I actually like it. I like that. Look at that. Just get a really, with the line shows direction, a real sense of movement. See that? Yeah. I don't like that coming down. That's kind of coming up. No, I like it this way. That sense of movement. So that's the way I would actually, isn't that pretty? Look at that. Really sharp looking. Yeah. So there we go. There's our cards and all the extras we get to have fun with. Here, I'm so glad we did this. One thing I would have liked better, this is a critique of my own work. I didn't leave enough of the white of the paper showing. That's what I would do different. And it's very important when you are doing your work that you always look back at it and you say, how can I make it better? It's not being cruel to yourself. It's not being degrading to yourself. This is to say, how can I become a better artist? So what I would do next time when I do this, and I most likely will, and we can compare the two, is I would leave more white space of the paper showing. I think that could really have some neat options with that. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you, I guess, for next week. I'm really looking forward to, I've got a few ideas brewing, so thank you so much for your support. I just really appreciate it, and I love your comments, and yeah, keep commenting, and thank you again for being in my world. I really appreciate it. Take care and have a wonderful week, a wonderful day, and remember, be good to yourself. Love you. Bye-bye. One thing I forgot is one of the reasons why I created these cards is because my word this year is connection. And that's connection personally for myself, my connection to my body, to my spirit, but also my connection to other people. These cards are going to work perfectly for my word. And I will be sending these out to people. If you're interested in making a work of your word, go up to the video up here and begin creating a work for your word. You know, I've got the background information about how you go about it. That's a video as well. So let's start with the first video up here, the background information. And then your second background information is actually how to create your word, or you watching me create my word. So, and I'll be right up here as well. Yeah, these work perfect. And don't they look stunning? You don't need these special envelopes or cards, right? You can just find some cardstock that's a little heavier, stick your pictures down. You can hand make your own envelopes. There's lots of stuff online to do that. And yeah, you're set. Go enjoy your cards, and I would love to see them. So please let me know, you know, on my Instagram handle right down here. And, you know, tag me or, yeah, just tag me. That'll work at Barbara Lynn Burns. So I would love to see yours. So, yeah, have a great one, everyone. Bye-bye.